And just like that, we have reached the conclusion, the final video of the 2024 NFL Undrafted series. Tried to get this knocked out in one day so we can move on and talk about the future in more depth by the time Monday got here. And it looks like we were able to do that. Now, the Detroit Lions, if I counted correctly, which I just did and forgot for some reason, I believe we signed 14 UDFAs and only a handful of them, maybe 6 to 8, if that, had draft profiles on them. So that means that the other half did not, and that's the purpose of this video. I think Nate was a guy that didn't, but I made a video about him before I thought of this idea. So what we're going to do, shout out to Lions Wire, Jeff Risden and his crew over there. We're going to run through the ones that we did not cover in a player profile, and we're going to start with center. Let's go ahead and bring this in. Center Duke Clemens out of UCLA. Here's the rundown. It says Lions paid Clemens a $60,000 guaranteed signing bonus as a UDFA. He's an athletic 302-pound center with 3 years, 34 games of starting experience for the Bruins. The Hawaii native also played right guard as a freshman. Clemens has very good short area quickness and can pull and trap well. So that's one guy there, the center that we signed. Jalon Calhoun, they didn't have a profile about him that I could find, wide receiver out of Duke. Says Calhoun is a 5'11 wideout who amassed over 3,000 receiving yards in his 5 seasons at Duke. He almost exclusively plays in the slot and does have some punt return experience. This right here is what will help him make this team. We saw it with Maurice Alexander and those guys. So if you are a person who can play on special teams, you are going to make a name for yourself. Now, it's something I want to check out. Let me check this out real quick, because I don't know if this is a typo. It might be a typo, which would make a lot of sense. Now, this person here, this next person right here is DaRon Gilbert. That is a typo. I went to check, and the first D is not supposed to be there. He is a safety out of Northern Illinois. Says Gilbert is a Detroit native, Brother Rice High School, who played a hybrid safety linebacker role for the Huskies in college. He spent his first 4 years of college at Lafayette in the FCS. He's probably a safety only in the NFL at 213 pounds, though Gilbert does pack some punch behind his pads. You know what? It's going to be kind of intriguing to see these guys play. It really, truly is, because one thing that Brad Holmes said yesterday, he talked about competition, that you're not like guaranteed anything with the team, that even the rookies are going to have to fight. UDFAs are going to have to fight. I mean, even the starters are going to have to be pushed. We know that Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, those guys are going to start the season. We're not going to not start them, but everybody's pushing everybody to be better. So the UDFAs are going to push the rookies. The rookies going to push the UDFAs. The rookies going to push the veterans, right? So it's kind of cool to see that dynamic. Here is a long snapper, Hogan Hatten from Idaho. Idaho does not have a NFL football team. I don't know if you guys knew that. Now, there is nothing else coming out except, what are we looking at here? Is this his RAS score? Nope, that's not. Okay, here it is right here. His RAS score right here. Let's blow that up so you guys can see it. So let's go to X, formerly known as Twitter. 9.89. Not really hard to do when you're a long snapper. I mean, I'm not trying to discredit those guys by any means, but if you are a long snapper, then, you literally have one job, but you have to do that job extremely well. Now, here's another guy too. Chelen Garnes, a safety out of Wake Forest. Says Garnes is a rocked up 5'10", 190-pound box safety who hits hard and has some impressive straight line speed. That's really all we've heard about these guys, whether it's through the draft or undrafted free agency, is hard hitting. That's what we've seen. Lions fans who watch Demon Deacon secondary mates Cleland Carson and Malik Mustafa in the draft process might recall number 9 flying in to finish off tackles all over the middle of the field. So there's another guy as well that could possibly make the practice squad. Okay, so then we have, who do we have here? Morice Norris, defensive back, Fresno State. Says Norris played in the slot and at safety, but the best part of his game is blitzing and attacking in the backfield. He bagged 3.5 sacks and led the Bulldogs in total plays behind the line at 11. The 5'10", that's the third guy under 6 feet, Norris ran a 4.5 to 40-yard dash as he posted a 35-inch vertical at his pro day, which the Lions attended. So the Lions did scout a lot of these guys, but obviously they weren't heralded enough, or their scouting department did not feel that they needed to be drafted, right? They'd probably, but you know what? I like what Brad Holmes says. He's like, basically, we watching all these guys, and we're going to try to get the guys we need where we can get them or we want, and kind of hope that some of those guys are there in the back end. I can't remember. I want to say it was Brad Holmes' first year when Sage Surratt was also a receiver that was not drafted. We picked him up in free agency. They were very excited about him, but it didn't work out. And now he plays in the UFL, if I'm not mistaken. He could be in the CFL, but I know he pretty much left the Lions, went somewhere else, didn't really do anything, and now is not in the NFL. But, you know, that's what the UFL is for people to come back. So there is right now currently the list of the rest of the UDFAs outside of the ones that had a profile. Now, if anybody else gets signed, we'll see what we can find out about them. And then if they don't have a player profile, then maybe we'll wait and see if the Lions sign any more, give it a few days or so. And if they don't, then we'll do a video about that person, or maybe we'll do a video just bringing in some stats and stuff. I like to keep y'all really up to date, like immediately when it comes to your football team, because if you're like me and you eat, breathe, and sleep the Detroit Lions, then you want to know everything about them. And that's pretty much what this channel is about. It's about fans keeping other fans informed, man. And that's what I set out to do. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the total UDFAs. Is there anybody that stands out? Let's do this. So let's bring in, as we wrap this thing up, let's bring in our total UDFA list. We talk about Duke Clemens, the center. We got Edge. So these guys here, I really don't feel like saying all their names. So I'll just kind of briefly scroll through, and I believe that is 14 players. But again, some of those guys made the team. UDFA doesn't mean that you're trash. It doesn't. It just means it could be several factors as to why you went undrafted. I mean, I thought Brendan Rice was going to go undrafted. He was like 40 players from going undrafted. Ronnie Bell was a guy last year. Cornelius Johnson, the Michigan Wolverines receiver, was a 7th round pick. So doesn't mean that you're less. I mean, here it is. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, has been in a championship game the first 2 seasons of his career. So whether or not you're drafted, the last player, or undrafted, you still have the ability. I feel like people control their own destiny, right? So they can come in and they can make a name for themselves. I feel like I'm a UDFA. I feel like, and listen, to the people in the comment section saying that I make this channel about me a lot. Yes, it's my channel. It talks about the Detroit Lions, but yeah. And you know why I make this channel, quote, about me? Because I am not a robot. I am not the Terminator. I am, as a matter of fact, do I have a robot voice? I might have a robot voice on my thing. Do I? Yes. Let's see what this sounds like.
I am not a robot. I am not the Terminator. I am a human being who is a fan. Of course, this channel is going to be about me. That is one of the reasons in which you watch.
I mean, of course. Of course, I do something. I deliver information. But guess what? When we have watch parties or we go to the game, then you guys are coming to watch the game with me, right? So, of course, I'm going to make this channel. I'm making it about me because I make the videos. I am in front of you guys. Come on, man. Duh. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You guys are awesome, and this channel is made possible by viewers, members, and subscribers just like you. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.